And I was reading some on your website, and it said that you wrote your first book when you were 9 years old.
Yes.
What was that about?
Well, it was called Diamonds Till Dusk or something like that.
Spaghetti Western.
What happened was we'd go to Grandma's house in an airplane, but my parents had more children than seats in the Mooney. So I was stuck in the baggage compartment, and there's nothing to do back there, so I would sit there and write stories. And so I've always written, and then it took me a while to work my way up to the yoke, but now I'm at the yoke and I fly.
Did you have a complex for a little while there? Or not? Just
She used to sit hunched
baggage.
over
Kids
for a
are
while.
baggage.
So you had your first ride in an airplane at age 14.
My first lesson.
Your
Yeah.
first lesson.
And so this
It's a
book's about a
commercial pilot.
16-year-old who learns to fly
Jill.
an airplane the hard way.
Yes.
And so I had my first lesson when I was 14. So it's definitely possible to learn to fly when you're a teenager to get your pilot's license before you get your driver's license. And I'm really excited about helping people get more into the idea of becoming pilots, because the pilot population's been shrinking in the last 30 years, and it's getting to a critical point now.
And you were a commercial pilot.
I am a commercial pilot, yes.
And what is it that you do? I know you can't tell us too much about what you do, but
I do aerial surveillance throughout the Southwest. I'm a chief pilot at an aerial surveillance company.
isn't that cool?
I'm
You just
impressed.
Do you have your own plane?
No, I lease. I
Okay.
lease a fleet of planes because with how
A
much
fleet, not just a plane, a fleet.
Well, because how much I fly,
Right.
there's always something in maintenance, always. So
So-
I have a really
I don't want to
excellent-
hear that.
I know. So how often do you fly? Is it a Monday through Friday job?
I was
or-
really pumped up there for a minute.
They're
Okay.
always in maintenance.
I fly every week.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of hours, a lot of time in the sky, a lot of time alone.
So do you fly out of Big Bear Airport or you
I
drive
do,
down?
and I also fly out of other airports. So logistically, they do a great job here in Big Bear keeping the runway
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
But I'll go out and there's a berm in front of my hangar. The lock is frozen. You have to get the hangar door open, and it's frozen. And
Yeah, I know.
so
I hear that
it's quite
it's
a chore.
really difficult to fly in and out of because of crosswinds and things.
Well, it is, and in some countries like New Zealand, they have a separate rating for mountain flying. So there's a little extra you need to learn, and it's really important because it's not just winds and high density, but there's all sorts of issues because the wind comes off of the mountains and kind of stirs up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not practiced and in control, and just make sure that you're alert when you're coming into land.
Yeah.
And you respond.
Oh, it's a little closer than I thought.
You are absolutely delightful. You know Daniel Morello, right? The masseuse.
Yeah.
We had him on here. Well, this is his lovely wife.
Oh.
So, I mean,
Wow.
I've known Daniel for a few years and
Daniel,
always saw
good guy,
little
yeah.
Syd's name on Facebook, but I never got to meet her. And you're awesome. My goodness.
Well, he's a massage therapist with
Yes.
Mountain Mobile Massage and Spa,
Right.
and he kind of puts me back together when I get really beat up.
Wow, that's handy, huh?
Because I'm down low level in the turbulence and the heat and the thermals, and so
Wow.
low level flying is, a different
Yeah.
story.
So tell us a little bit about, you've got two books. Is FlyGirl
It's the
your
second
story? Or
No, it's not, but it has a lot of stories that I've collected through the years from other. Well, Fly Girl Jill, she's 16 years old, and to start with, she gets interested in flying because she finds out it will impress her crush.
Robbie.
Oh, I get it now.
It's always for a man.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
But when she
These are
gets up
cute.
in the sky, she realizes she loves it. So, and then it becomes this dream that she just goes full out for and encounters a lot of wild rides and obstacles. But the message is really go for your dreams and what it really means to believe in yourself, because you definitely have to believe in yourself
Oh,
to
absolutely.
fly a plane.
And I liked you had a little line on your blog that said, now I'm not going to get it right, but this is the gist of it, that sometimes your husband is talking to you, but the characters are talking in your head, and you have to tell him like, hey, dude, shh, got to write this stuff down first. So your mind is always going, right, with story ideas or
Yes.
characters and.
Daniel's very patient. Yeah, I'm working on something else now that these two are out. So I've been working on
And this
these.
one is?
Oh yeah, what is
Yeah.
that one about?
The second one's Circle, and that's more for the boys, and it's a fun adventure. It's kind of a cross between Indiana Jones and E.T.
Oh,
Fun.
there you go.
That sounds like one of my books.
And you can find them at Amazon
Yes.
or go to my website, and there will be a link, and that's sydblue.com.
Why did you target this book towards teenage girls?
Because it's so important to encourage them to step up and go for something, because in doing that they build self-esteem, and I think the journey of becoming a pilot builds self-esteem. It's an awesome process. The day you solo is just so amazing, because your instructor hops out of the plane and says bye-bye.
Yeah, and I was reading that part, and her family and her friends were down there. She's watching them, and it's like, oh, I was getting chills just thinking about soloing.
Yeah.
It's something you've done a million times, but now you're on your own.
Well,
so.
the first time you do it, it's really scary, because you realize it's all up to you, and if you go up, you have to bring the plane
have to come
down yourself. And so it's different too the first time you're in a plane without your instructor. It's much lighter, so you pop up faster.
And she does have an idol, because I was reading about your idol.
Yes.
And tell us who that is.
Well, at sydblue.com, SYD, blue like the color.com, you can read blogs, and I have a blog about Angelina
Yes.
Jolie, because she's the only living famous celebrity pilot, female, that I know of, and I just think it's so awesome with everything on her plate
Right.
that she went through all the hard work to become a pilot. Not just a pilot.
She's instrument certified.
She's instrument rated,
Yes,
and only
yes.
50% of pilots get that certificate because it's difficult. And she did it, and she had to pass the same tests as me. So, I know what she went through, and I just have a lot of admiration for her when she's doing that, as well as
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
else. And you have a picture of her like sitting sideways from the side, and she looks bad, man. She's got her hair pulled back, her aviator glasses on, and
I'm just a real estate guy. I don't know.
well, planes are they're very intriguing. I've been flying on and off for like 15 years, but I never really wanted to fly myself. I just like, I'm sitting
You should try it.
shotgun. I'm not sitting shotgun. I want to listen to my music, enjoy the scenery,
oh,
but
it's so much fun. You've got to try it. Just take one little demo lesson, and then have your hands at the control and see the different axes that you can play in.
Right.
And
My
have some
concern
fun.
with her would be she'd be all, wow, look over here.
look at the pretty lights.
Oh my goodness,
Look at the
all
glittery.
everything moves.
So I'll tell another
Now.
embarrassing story about my son. I was going with this man at the airport, and we used to fly all the time, and Taylor never wanted to get in the plane. He was like 12. He was scared to death, and he never wanted to get in the plane, and it's like, but it was an air coupe. Just a gorgeous little plane. So I said, I'll give you $50 if you get in that plane. And he did. And then he started flying. And
Yay.
when he flew away, I had tears in my eyes. I was so proud of him, because it's just the most awesome feeling to
It
fly.
is. It's